film could be a perfect example of Indian जुगाड़. मतलब अगर तुम्हारे पास पैसा नहीं है लेकिन सपना है फिर भी चीज पॉसिबल है इस देश में. कोई ना कोई तरीका निकल जाएगा.
And the thing is, we have intellectualized the spoof genre so much now, to a point where there are layers in the spoof and the entire thing. To a point where it's a lot of satire, a lot of political intellectualizing that has happened in many films or many like small these things also that we see on these YouTube channels also that make. To know that, you know what, at the end of the day, you don't need to intellectualize it. Those people are separate. These people know what they are doing. So creators can still create without having to sort of read about it.
He said that it has got lot of things to learn from कि भाई ऐसा नहीं होता कि पैसे तो ही सपने देख सकते. It's just how do you manage your resources right and get things going in whatever you have.
It's not that kind of a film which has a lot of suspense and all of that. So it's okay even if you get the spoiler. It's a lot about the feel.
It's based
How
on a
did you all
documentary,
feel?
right?
Yeah.
It's based on a documentary,
Yes.
like I think
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
It's the documentary is Superman of Malegaon.
Superman of Malegaon, correct.
Yes. And in fact, I ended up watching the documentary as well after watching the
Oh,
movie.
nice. Is it
Yeah.
available on YouTube?
Yeah, it's available on YouTube and it's much
Acha.
better than the movie as well, is what I felt.
Okay.
Yeah,
It has captured the true emotions of Malegaon as to why was the need of, or what was the need of making an industry out of a small place in Maharashtra. So from that perspective, the need gap which is not mentioned or highlighted in the movie is getting truly captured in the documentary which is there on YouTube. Yeah. I ended up watching the movie this weekend. So again, it came up as to the abstract room is organizing a session on these two movies, and I, in which ways, wanted to watch Superboys of Malegaon because I've heard of it in terms of the critic review which it got. So from that perspective, I thought I'll watch it and then I'll also participate in the session as well. So I ended up watching it this weekend, but then too over like with multiple pauses and because I have a small daughter at home, so I need to take care of her as well. So from that perspective, I couldn't watch it at one go. But having said that, when I watched the movie and towards the end, I realized that it's a craft that somebody like maybe Rima Kakti or maybe somebody like Zoe Akhtar could only create, because it was not an easy topic to get a movie out of. And having said that, they did a pretty decent job. But then having said that, I still felt that there was a lot of meat in the because when I watched the documentary, I realized that there was a lot of meat into the documentary which could still have been captured much more when the movie was made. I think they might have ignored certain facts considering the secularism and everything. But having said that, if those points were highlighted or captured, would lead to more layers into the film, is what I felt.
मैंने भी मतलब आज डॉक्यूमेंट्री भी देखी थी, तो मतलब मेरे को मूवी से ज्यादा अच्छी लगी डॉक्यूमेंट्री. उसमें जैसे पर्टिकुलरली जो फारूक का कैरेक्टर है उसको और ज्यादा डेप्थ में दिखाया गया है डॉक्यूमेंट्री में. मतलब आई लाइक इट अ लॉट आल्सो.
Okay, Naman.
Actually, it's been a while since I watched the movie. I watched it in the theaters, and to be honest, I've forgotten a lot of it.
Same.
But yeah, just
Yeah. But I was trying
remembering.
to rewatch few bits of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I still got some glimpses in my mind. But yeah, like Govind just said, I also like the character of Farooq, how they've portrayed the raw jealousy, that raw desire in him, and then his, for lack of a better word, a courage in anger to achieve something on its own and go to a big city and do it all by himself. And then the redemption arc of him and Nasir coming back together. So it's like a full circle moment for him too in the story. So yeah, that is a character that appealed to me a lot. And yeah, what Sujoy asked about the feeling one gets after watching this film, I too was a bit overwhelmed. But I also had this thought in my mind that talent in this country isn't restricted to a tier one, tier two, tier three cities. It is everywhere. We are just blind to it. There are a lot of talented people in this country who are doing amazing things. Somebody has to go and find them. We could also have a
Documentary.
Steven Spielberg in the villages of Madhya Pradesh. We don't know. We don't know.
100%, 100%, yeah. Like what I felt, no, and like the friend with whom I went to watch it also, and we were like talking about it that like a lot of times, like, we look at films and like, we critique other film and we look at like all the details कि अच्छा cinematography ऐसा है, अच्छा script ऐसा है, ये है, ठीक है, like we get into all of that and it's fun to do all that, right? And we trash out few films as like कि अच्छा ये तो mass film है, commercial film है, कुछ इसमें sense नहीं है, ये है, वो है. All of that we go into all of those discussions, but I think this film, no, like when I watched it, felt like it kind of brings out that real core element of like कि हम film क्यों देखते हैं या क्यों बनाते हैं, कि like you are just watching something and it just transports you to some other world, right? And ha- a lot of us, like I think India mein to so many people want to be part of that jadoo, want to be part of that magic. uh it doesn't matter how the film is, how critically acclaimed it is, how like fancy it is, kya big budget hai, kya nahi hai. It's just about making the film, just about enjoying the film. So I think that the film brings out that core element of it. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So, what did you feel about the direction? How does Rima Kakti compare with her previous films? I think she made Honeymoon, Private Travels, and Talash
Yes,
before, right?
Talash, yes. And looking at the films that Excel have produced, or maybe Remas would have directed, I my expectation was also a bit higher as compared to what it ultimately ended up to. So I would say it was not a like you know it was a failed attempt, or I would not say the word failed, but it was not the complete attempt in terms of getting those things right in terms of all the moments which were there in the documentary. So maybe even I'm comparing it with the documentary, and that is why I'm feeling this. If I would have not watched it, I would have said that nahi, बहुत सही movie था. But when I watched it, now I realize that it could have been, a better attempt is what I felt personally.
Yeah, because they had a very good cast, and they didn't go it completely art or completely commercial. They were
Correct.
stuck somewhere in the middle.
Exactly.
Okay, so another prompt. What is your biggest lesson from the film?
Can I try?
Yeah, yeah, please.
The film throughout made me realize that in my mind the film was not necessarily only about the idea of making a film, or the idea of wanting to have yourself on a film. To me it was also about that small town dream, the fact that there are so many odds against you, uh, the fact that nobody has absolutely any sort of uh, understanding of the irrationality of your dreams and the audacity of your dreams, and nobody can even sense it. Like, what are you even thinking about?
Attempting.
This is not even, it's like a different world altogether. To have the audacity to even think like that and be absolutely stupid enough to follow through, I think that is something which is a very scary, intimidating, but a very inspiring feeling. That is what I was left with. No, like having seen the documentary as well, having heard these people speak. Of course, a film like this cinematically explains it even more dramatically, sort of. But I think drama is great. Drama is not bad at all. So, but the unplanned nature of their dreams, it sort of scared me to a point. Oh shit, this is possible, but you have to have to really, really indulge and abandon. So for me, it was really to aspire or dream big. That was, I think, my biggest learning or the takeaway from the film.
जस्ट वांट टू ऐड दैट मतलब अगर किसी को भी ये जो पर्टिकुलर कैरेक्टर्स है इनकी जर्नी के बारे में और डिटेल में जानना है तो अकरम खान है, उनका अपना खुद का यूट्यूब चैनल है जिस पे उन्होंने पॉडकास्ट किए हैं. मतलब अकरम खान द वीडियोग्राफर गाय इन द मूवी, जो लास्ट में मतलब सुपर बॉयज ऑफ मालेगांव वाली मूवी में विलन बनते हैं. तो काफी अच्छे डिस्कशंस है विद कास्ट एंड द ओरिजिनल पर्सन्स आल्सो.
And I think it redefined the movie making process, और जो बोलते हैं ना कि बड़ा बजट का फिल्म होना चाहिए, ये वो. it they made the first film in 30,000 rupees, so can anybody even think of it? So फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव उन्होंने खुद का अपना इट्स एन इंडस्ट्री आउट देयर मॉलीवुड करके जो उनका खुद का इंडस्ट्री है. सो आई थिंक जो मतलब बड़े बड़े प्रोड्यूसर्स डायरेक्टर्स बोलते हैं कि लाइफ में मतलब फिल्म्स में आइडियली पीपल वांट टू सी समथिंग दैट दे एस्पायर फॉर एंड नॉट समथिंग दैट दे आर ट्रूली लिविंग. बट हैविंग सेड दैट व्हाट दे हैव शोन इज कि उनके खुद के कास्ट, उनके खुद के लोग, उनका खुद का स्टोरी विच was connecting much more to the audience of Malegaon. So from that perspective, it redefined the way audience would want to see a movie, or it redefined the way how a movie can be made. So from that perspective, I think it's a completely different story altogether. And having said that, it has got lot of things to learn from. कि भाई ऐसा नहीं होता कि पैसे तो ही सपने देख सकते. It's just how do you manage your resources right and get things going in whatever you have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I also felt that it is not just about the film making. Like वो तो definitely है कि like not getting into like the complexity, the कि अच्छा मतलब कैसी बनेगी, कितना बजट होगा, and they just went ahead and made it, right? Just for fun, just for their entertainment कि भाई हाँ बनाएंगे. I think it kind of like goes beyond just filmmaking as well. मतलब I am a kind of person जो हर चीज में बहुत ज्यादा I tend to over analyze at times before doing something.
Yeah, I mean, adding to Sankal, Chai's and Sujoy's point, this film could be a perfect example of Indian जुगाड़. मतलब अगर तुम्हारे पास पैसा नहीं है लेकिन सपना है, फिर भी चीज़ पॉसिबल है इस देश में. कोई ना कोई तरीका निकल जाएगा. वैसा टेंशन नहीं लेने का और करते रहने का. प्लस एक सेंस में विजनरी भी है क्योंकि इंडिया में इतना स्पूफ देखने को मिलता नहीं है.
Yeah.
और ये लोग मॉलीवुड में बैठ के स्पूफ बना रहे हैं और इंडिया में ऐसा देखने को मिलता नहीं है. एंड दे आर डूइंग इट इन अ विलेज इन खानदेश. इट इज़ अमेजिंग. Visionary in some sense.
And the thing is, we have intellectualized the spoof genre so much now, to a point where there are layers in the spoof and the entire thing. To a point where it's a lot of satire, a lot of political intellectualizing that has happened in many films or many like small these things also that we see on these YouTube channels also that make. Uh, to know that what, at the end of the day you don't need to intellectualize it. Those people are separate. These people know what they are doing, so creators can still create without having to sort of read about it, so to say, and still get it. And because theory came afterwards,
Yeah.
film was made first, art was made first.
Yeah, and like just drawing from that, I think TVF did some pretty decent spoofs. I think pretty good, like brainless kind of spoofs. Brainless in the sense, like just like not getting into like the layering and all of that, but some good
Remember
ones there.
Cyrus Brocha doing spoofs back then?
Yes, long back, correct,
Long,
correct,
long back. I think
long
NDTV or
back.
something as part of the reviews which Cyrus Brocha used to do.
Yeah. I think firstly we need Farah Khan back if you want to do mainstream spoof again. Firstly, like that's like the baseline that we need to start at.
That's
Uh,
that's art. That's art at
then
its finest.
True.
I think what has happened with the spoof genre, this is my limited understanding. Either people have become too worried or scared that अरे लोग समझेंगे नहीं या फिर क्या. Same with satire. I feel like a lot of metaphorical, satirical stuff is not coming out. Very less. Like in the beach में we'll find like a cutthell, like a film on Netflix बीच में आ जाएगा. Otherwise, it's not really common anymore. Or people are very worried about कि हम लोग ब्रेनलेस करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो ब्रेनलेस भी इतना क्यूरेटेड हो रहा है कि वो नहीं ब्रेनलेस लग रहा. There was a lot of abandon in a Bhagam Bhag. Despite all the problematic stuff, I recently rewatched some scenes. I was like, oh my god, what is? But some things are so naturally funny in that Garam Masala and everything in that. All these kind of films, that they're redoing that in a Houseful Five or all the other such fives and sixes that are coming. It's so not working. It's so not working.
बट एक चीज जो मुझे इस मूवी में पसंद आई फ्रॉम द फ्रॉम द फ्रॉम द वेरी फर्स्ट गो, नासिर शेख का एक चीज वो बहुत क्लियर था कि he was evolving with the kind of taste that Malegaon का audience had from starting with Malegaon का शोले और maybe Malegaon का शान, then realizing कि ये नहीं चल रहा है, अभी और कुछ करना पड़ेगा, then coming into the VFX की VFX कैसे मैं मालेगांव में लेके आऊँ, यहाँ के लोगों को मैं कैसे उड़ाऊँ. So from that perspective पैसा नहीं है फिर भी vision and evolving thought process is something that was amazing to watch कि भाई he was understanding the pulse of the audience and accordingly redoing his stuff to make sure that it is appealing to the audience for which it is being made.
And coming from somebody like Jay, who's also in the branding space, it makes sense. Yeah, you need to understand the pulse of the audience. But it's quite true, and I would sort of it's a very enterprising film, like enterprising recommendation. So, कि आपको enterprising films देखनी हो, तो this is one of them for sure. I would also relate his or their journey largely with, as they are inventors of cinema. They're as good as inventors of cinema themselves. They are not just filmmakers, they are the makers of film, in my mind. How the earliest filmmakers sort of made it work. If you have seen, I've heard about this guy called George Méliès. He was one of the first ever directors. He was a French director. He used to be a magician in the past, and then he became a filmmaker. And उस time पे cinema is not what it's today. उस time it was just seen like a jokerish thing or something like that. And उसने कैमरा के डिसेप्शन को यूज करके बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें ट्राई की थी उस टाइम पे, कि मैं ऐसे बनाता हूँ वैसे 500 चीजें फिल्में बनाई थी उसने उस टाइम पे. There's a film by Martin Scorsese called Hugo. It's I think on Netflix, should be on Netflix. So उसमें उसकी स्टोरी एक्सप्लोर की है. It's lovely to watch. But he's basically somebody who created so many things that we still use, and he was in 1900. लाइक लाइक ट्रॉली शॉट, या फिर बैकग्राउंड यूज करके उसको कुदाऊंगा तो बाद में ये गायब हो जाएगा मैजिक करने से, एंड सो मेनी थिंग्स. दे आर इन्वेंटिंग सिनेमा एज इट वेंट बाय. फॉर दीज पीपल, they had some references from somewhere, like these old filmmakers had from theater or other places. These people had references from some of the films they had seen, but they still invented it in their own space.
Yes, I just had one observation. I think Naman by mistake has named it as male gown, but the fact that the movie also has Superboys and even this room has almost all the guys. So what I mean, I have not watched the movie, but are there any female characters or like anything about them?
Yeah, I think there are like couple of like worth mentioning. Nasser's wife, and there is this female character in their acting group as well.
Just to answer here's a question regarding female protagonist in the movie. So again, I don't know if you guys, some of you might have watched the documentary, but as per one of the conversation in the documentary, the females of Maliga were not allowed to act, and that is why the female who was part of their group, she was not from Malegaon. She used to travel from some different location to come to Malegaon for the shoot and then going back. So again, that was the kind of reservation that was there for women of Malegaon, which was never captured in the movie. So again, that was one of the thing that could have been captured. I don't know why it was not, but yeah.
I think one of the women with the wheel on,
Yes, yes, yes.
the one who plays the mother, I think, no?
Correct, correct, correct. So that
Okay.
was a guy playing a woman.
Okay.
Because yeah, the women were not allowed to act in the movies then in Malegaon. So they were not allowed to act in the movie which this Nasir was making. So that is
Okay.
why
Okay.
they hired Trupti, who used to travel from some other location to Malegaon for shooting those movies within the movie. Like Nasir ke movies mein there are not no women as such which are allowed from Malegaon. That is why he used to ask Trupti to travel from some other location to come and act in his movies.
Was there any reason given in the documentary why women?
Yes, yes. So the community there used to think that women are not allowed to act or allowed to earn. So they were more to do with household things and everything, but they are not allowed to act in a movie or something.
अच्छा,
So that was
okay.
what I'm trying to say कि इतने सारे चीजें जो डॉक्यूमेंट्री कैप्चर कर रही है which somehow either is purposefully missed in the movie or maybe by ignorance it's missed. I don't know, but yeah, these were like limitations that were there कि वाकई और मतलब the female therein were not allowed to act.
Yeah, but I also feel यार मतलब मैंने डॉक्यूमेंट्री नहीं देखी है,
Hmm.
ठीक है. I also feel that like when somebody is making a film, it's also about कि अच्छा, what do you want the theme of the film to be, right? Like, do you want the theme to be like you want to show the entire life and the community or everything? I don't think that was the that was the point or the decision of this film. I think I think they chose to show a film which was about dreams and
Correct.
about these guys just chasing a dream of making a film. And it was another theme which I could see in the film was just it's kind of like a tribute to filmmaking in itself, I would say.
Correct.
Uh, so I don't think the point of the film was to show a lot of other things
Hmm.
which the documentary probably had captured. So yeah, that may be one of the reasons for which
Maybe.
they didn't get into all of it.
Completely agree with you, Sujoy, on this part. But
Yeah,
only thing was that if see these things might have set the context right for the
हाँ
climax is what I'm trying
हो
to say.
सकता है
Huh.
हो सकता है
So
yeah
वो
for sure
purpose से I'm just highlighting these points.
हाँ हो
Yeah.
सकता है for sure sure
But is the actual movie Superman of Malegaon available somewhere? Can you watch the actual movie or the
I
Yes,
documentary?
think
it is
Documentary is
available on YouTube. It's around 9 to 10 minutes. मतलब
oh,
इतनी ही है जो YouTube पे है वो तो.
but the documentary also captures the parts of the movies as well.
So what do you think about the climax of the movie? Did the Shashank Arora's that guy's role get his worth after waiting for this long?
आई एम वेटिंग होल थ्रू आउट द मूवी. मतलब शशांक अरोड़ा के कैरेक्टर को एज ए साइड कैरेक्टर दिखाया था. मतलब शुरू से तो मैं सोच रहा था इनके बारे में बिल्कुल बिल्कुल भी स्टोरी नहीं है. मतलब कंप्लीटली एज ए मतलब जूनियर आर्टिस्ट टाइप रोल है. पर मतलब इन द एंड इट बिकेम्स अबाउट हिमसेल्फ ओनली. और मतलब पूरा कंक्लूड उन्हीं के ऊपर होता है वो.
He was loyal to the main character, Kumar, sorry, the Gaurav character,
Nasir.
despite, yeah, Nasir character, despite knowing that his due is not recognized, like his potential is not being used.
I mean it was so ironic कि मतलब that scene that is the last scene right where he is just flying as a
Yes.
Superman है ना and then he looks at himself in the screen and he just gives a salute to Nasir and me and my friend who were watching it and like it was such an ironic scene that it's actually such a ridiculous scene right कि एक आदमी ऐसे उड़ रहा है उसको उस वैसे उड़ा रहे हैं and that ridiculous scene is actually so emotional right for the context because of the context of it so yeah that is one of the things I recall in the film.
Like he was taking the flight, which he was imagining.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So the movie came to full circle in terms of if we remember the first scene wherein he was watching at the sky, the plane and everything, and ending up with himself flying and not in the plane but as a Superman. So yeah, it came to the full circle is what I feel.
So, since I have not yet watched the movie and most of you have, what would be one reason that you would give someone to watch this movie, and what would be one reason to not watch the movie? Like, all of us have, like, all of you have given some reason that we should watch the movie, but are there any reasons that you guys think that we should, like, it's skippable or something like that?
I think the trailer was like very well cut. It had set the expectations so high, but that they couldn't translate into the main movie. So keep your expectations very low, so that you like go through the movie properly. Just don't keep your expectations so high because the trailer couldn't match this movie thing. And watch it for the performances. Great cast, amazing performances.
And I guess should follow the movie by followed by the like पहले movie उसके बाद the documentary I guess because the
Yes.
documentary is
If you go the other way around, you might end up watching only documentary, not the movie.
yeah but I guess it's a good way to like make the movie reach more people because the documentaries like these reaches only few
Correct.
niche
I think I
and
would not. I कोई भी नहीं देखता documentary if it would not have turned out into a film. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's and this is what the film was critically a success, but commercially a flop because of this reason only. Because kahin na kahi, as rightly mentioned by Akshay, the way the trailer came out, and there are, I think, some premieres as well, which got a standing ovation and everything. So from that perspective, the expectation was very high. And then the final, cut didn't turn out to the expectation which was set for it. So yeah, that even I feel.
I just want to mention that it's not a commercial flop, as in मतलब they recovered all the money they put by Prime Video only. तो जो मतलब बॉक्स ऑफिस में आया वो उनके लिए
Haha.
बोनस ही है.
Okay.
So, but it was a box office failure.
ये मूवी पैसों के लिए थी ही नहीं, ये वो
हाँ,
इंसान के लिए थी, शफीक के लिए थी ये movie। पैसा इसमें 2 नंबर का था। बट या मतलब बॉलीवुड यूज्ड टू कॉपी कॉलीवुड, टॉलीवुड, मलयालम वुड, हॉलीवुड, बट अब वो कॉपी मॉलीवुड भी कर रहा है, तो समझ सकते हो क्या हालत हो चुकी है बॉलीवुड की। बट या, इट इज डेफिनेटली अ गुड वॉच, डेफिनेटली गिव इट अ ट्राई। ऐसा अक्षय आई थिंक हैज क्रिटिकली वॉच्ड इट, एंड उसको थोड़ा उस सेंस से पसंद नहीं आया। आई जस्ट वेंट फॉर द स्टोरी, स्टोरी वाइज कुछ नया लगा, समथिंग दैट आई हैव नॉट सीन। मतलब इंडिया में यू सो बिजी विद एवरीथिंग कि पैशन बहुत दूर रह जाता है,
Correct.
तो कभी देखने को मिलता है तो इट इज ऑलवेज अ गुड थिंग टू मी। सर पैशन देखो तो क्या कभी खुद के अंदर भी पैशन आ जाए, सो फॉर दैट सेंस यू कैन डेफिनेटली वॉच इट।
And it's a movie within a movie, so थोड़ा time के लिए it would be difficult to understand the screenplay and everything, but then once you start connecting with it, you will be able to understand कि क्या चल रहा है, because कभी movie के अंदर कोई scene चल रहा है, movie का scene है कि वो movie मतलब it's difficult to but yeah, it's worth the watch. I would say कि एक one time watch तो है ही, watch लो.
And
और आई
this,
थिंक दे डेल्ट विद द रॉ इमोशंस प्रीटी नाइसली इन दिस मूवी। मतलब जो रियलिस्टिक ह्यूमन इमोशंस होते हैं ना, जो मूवी में यूजुअली लेफ्ट आउट हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि आइडियल कैरेक्टर्स दिखाते हैं लोग तो एग्जैजरेट कर देते हैं, इसमें काफ़ी रियलिस्टिकली डील किया है कि लोग जेलस होते हैं
Hmm.
दूसरे की सक्सेस देखकर। दोस्तों में भी ये होता है, जब एक लेवल पे नहीं होती दोस्ती, वो रियल लाइफ प्रॉब्लम्स और प्रैक्टिकलिटीज़ हैं। तो इस मूवी ने उसको एक अच्छी तरीके से डील किया है और उसको रिजॉल्व भी किया है कि कैसे एक इशू पे, एक कॉमन इशू पे सब वापस भी साथ में आ जाते हैं, सब चीज़ें भुलाकर। तो वो थोड़ा उस सेंस में भी आई थिंक इट इज़ अ गुड वॉच, कुड बी अ गुड वॉच।
Also, would there be anything that you would like to, like, especially for the people who did not like it that much, not compared to the documentary, but in general, or maybe if you have a chance, what would be that one twist that you would like to make in the movie, maybe at the end or wherever, like you feel that there that could change pura ekdam like plot twist sort of thing.
maybe I'd like to change the music director. Maybe the music wasn't elevating it. Like this Lapata Ladies, also, if you just take in
Hmm.
comparison, Ram Sampath had given amazing music. The background music, as well as few two, three songs in and there. So, if that could have been added to this movie, it would have accentuated it. That one change I would like to make.
Maybe I would have वांटेड कि मालेगांव को और करीब से दिखा इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि ये इंडस्ट्री का जरूरत ही क्यों हुआ एट द फर्स्ट प्लेस बिफोर कमिंग टू द मेन premises of the friends illness and everything, so that could have made more sense in terms of कि जरूरत ही क्यों पड़ी वहां के लोगों को वहां का खुद का मूवी बनाने का.
Like, how is the industry doing now? They could have also.
Yes, maybe.
How is the industry doing now? Because I'm from Hyderabad, and Hyderabadi thing was like prospering it for a while, but now it is like completely down. So, like, how the Malegaon thing is doing now, and is it feasible making movies or running it in the theaters?
Correct, maybe because this was 2010, so right now in
Ah,
2025 I don't know how is it. And this guy, Nasir Sheikh, he continues to live in Malegaon till today. So, from that perspective, he never had those dreams of coming to Mumbai, getting into mainstream cinema or something. So, I think कुछ ना कुछ तो वहाँ पर चलता ही रहा होगा, because the other guy who was playing the antagonist in the Superman of Malegaon का जो movie है उनका, that guy is also continues to be a local producer there. He has got his own YouTube channel. तो कुछ ना कुछ तो वो लोग कर ही रहे हैं, which might be we are not aware of.